Hi, welcome back to my channel. As you can tell by the title, we are going to do a drunk story time. I'm currently drunk right now and I'm gonna do a story time. I was gonna do initially a get ready with me / a story time, but I forgot to do that while I was getting ready. So I'm doing it now, which is fine. Ignore the fan in the background. You can obviously you can see it blowing and whatnot. I tend to overheat when I'm anxious, and since I'm always anxious, I'm always getting really hot. It's kind of like trying to run The Sims on like a really shitty laptop. So I've got the fan on, so ignore that. I hope it's not too loud. I don't know, we'll see. But yeah, let's get into it. Okay, so basically I have 2 cousins in a cult. So yeah, I found this out a couple months ago. They live in South Africa. I'm not gonna say like the specific location where they're based, obviously, but it's in South Africa. Yeah, the one cousin is around my age, so like 21. The other one I think is like late 20s, like really late 20s. It's sort of, I'm not like 100% sure what like type of cult it is. I have yet to do research. I only just found out like the specific like region they are in. But it's sort of like a Mormon, Amish type cult. Like they're very heavily religious, and like live off the land and everything. So, you know, your typical like cult. So I don't know where to start. Like, I don't know how like to start this. I don't know how to start this. So from what I've heard from like family members, the one cousin, she's 21, the other one's like, he's like late 20s. He is apparently like very controlling over her. So they're brother and sister. He's older and she's younger. He's apparently like very controlling, and the relatives I saw, like they haven't seen her in like 2 years, or like him either. And the last time they saw them together, I think she was like talking one-on-one with like my Oma, so like my grandma, and then he like pulled her aside outside. So like he wouldn't like let her talk one-on-one with anyone because like she might say something and yada yada yada. So he's like very controlling, and they have like really like strange rules in this cult. Like she's not allowed to wear earrings. Like she got gifted a pair of earrings from like one of my aunties, and she was like, I can't wear earrings, I can't take this, which is like such a weird thing to control. But like if you think of it, it's like cults basically control like every single aspect of your life when you're in one. So to control something like as minuscule as like the jewelry you can wear, it kind of makes sense that they do that. Like it starts off small, so that's really weird. And then her brother, who's also in the cult, I just found out last week, he doesn't believe in the Holocaust. Which is like, are you stupid? Even my Oma, like my grandma, she said when she found that out, she's like, is he fucking stupid? Like, literally insane. Like, so incredibly brainwashed. Like, that is insane. Like, how, like, are you okay? Like, have you picked up a single book before? Have you gone to school? Like, so he's dumb, obviously very stupid. Like, how can you believe that it's not true, it's not real, it didn't happen? Like, it's not a conspiracy theory. Like, it's like very well documented. Like, oh my god. And his younger sister, so my cousin, same age as me, she's interested in the cult leader, apparently. So I don't know how old he is, but like if you look at cults, they're typically like middle-aged white men, maybe not middle-aged, maybe like slightly older. So he's kind of like somewhere there, obviously a white man. And she's interested in him. So he had a wife who was busy dying, I don't know of what, and she was interested in him while his wife was dying, which is interesting. And now that the wife is dead, she wants to go after this guy, marry him, and have like 8 kids. Because like that's her role now in this sort of like group. As women, they need to like birth a lot of children, which I feel like is a very common element in a lot of cults. The women are always bearing a lot of children. I think they're like a monogamous sort of group. I know there's like the Fundamentalist Church of Latter-day Saints. There's like I watched a documentary on Netflix about them a month ago, and they're sort of like a polyamorous sort of group. Like the men, it's believed if they have like 3 or more wives, then they'll get into like heaven kind of thing. But with this cult, it's not. It's like very monogamous and like very traditional. Like all the men have like beards, and like the women all have children. They also dresses. Like it's very like traditional values. From what I've heard, it's sort of based, I guess, or has like origins in like the Boer War. So in South Africa there was like a Boer War. I don't know like the full history of it, so like I'm not going to go into that, but there's a lot of information online about it. So it's sort of, I guess, originated from there. So they've got like very traditional like values. They're farmers, they're all white, so all white Afrikaans farmers that have like traditional values, heavily religious. I was gonna say something else about it. I think their parents, I think their mum is sort of involved in the cult in some way, like has some sort of connection. I know it started off with his son, my cousin. He was working on the farm, and then he got his younger sister to join. She quit her job to like join this group, which is really sad because she had a lot of potential. She had a lot of aspirations in life and everything. And he seems like a really, really controlling and like manipulative individual. So I feel really sorry for her in this whole situation. That's sort of like, it seems like there's a bit of a power dynamic between the two. But the mum seems to have a bit of a connection with the cult, and the dad, to quote a relative, he's as weak as piss. I'm not going to say who. But apparently he's weak as piss. So it looks like he might be slowly making his way over there. So soon that side of the family might be part of that cult group, whatever you want to call it. So that's really interesting. I was pretty surprised to find out about that. I mean, especially with the girl my age, I was not expecting it from her, but from what I've heard about her brother, it's kind of like she doesn't really have a choice. So yeah, I don't really know much else about the cult itself. I don't know really much about their values. It's really hard to find information online about them. They're very sort of like, I don't know if isolated is the right word, but it's not like, well, like the FDLS. It's not like a really well-known sort of cult. It's not like there was another one, I forgot what it's called. But but like all those like cults you see like documentaries about and everything, like it's not like one of those like major ones, so it's really hard to find like information online about it. It's also like in a really small region. It's not like a big group. I mean, they live on like a big piece of land and like live off it, but it's not like a really big sort of like organization. They sort of like keep to themselves, but I am interested in doing some research about them because I do want to find out more. But yeah, that's kind of like my story time. I like really don't know much about them. I mean, they're very like secluded in a way, and obviously like my family members haven't seen those two in like at least 2 years probably, so you can't like really contact them about it. Like they don't talk about their time there really. So yeah, but yeah, so I have 2 family members in a cult, almost 4 at this point. So yeah, I've got like a fun little icebreaker for my uni classes, because we always do icebreakers like, oh, like tell us a fun fact about yourself. Like, well, I have 2 family members in a cult, so that's my little fun fact about me. I really do want to do some more research about it, and then if I do find out some more stuff, maybe I'll do like another story time. I know this one's like really short, but I am tired, I am drunk, and I also don't know a lot about it at the moment. Like it's relatively new, so yeah, but thank you for listening. My cat is a bit camera shy. She knows when I've got the camera out, and she knows when the camera's out, and she doesn't like it, so she's hiding behind my bed. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. Hopefully it was interesting. I'm gonna have a really fun time editing this and hoping that I make sense and that I'm coherent. Hi Rennie, she's here. Hello, look at it. Oh, it's so big. Hi Rennie, she's so cute. Okay, thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video.